Hi, man. The Israeli EMP gun in our Amish future. I'm not making this up. I know I'm given to hyperbole. I know I'm given to exaggeration. Some would even say I'm given to a little bit of hystericalness. But I swear to you, there is an Israeli EMP gun, and it portends an Amish future. Hold on a second. All right. So here's the story as best I understand it. The Israelis got this thing called the Scorpius. There's the Scorpius J, I think. There's the Scorpius S. There's the Scorpius N. You can look this thing up there. This is not my conspiracy theory. They admit it. But what they're calling it is a revolution in electronic warfare. So apparently there's been this electronic war, it's like jamming stuff. They say it can target what they're calling electromagnetic systems, and I can't really figure out what that is. But they're calling it, this applies to you. I promise me, this applies to you. Hear me out. They call that soft kill technology, that you don't have to shoot a missile or anything. It's a laser beam of some kind, somehow, and they can target specific electromagnetic systems and somehow fry. This isn't working. And somehow fry them. Like just aim this laser at individual targets. This is the new thing. Apparently they could do things a little bit like this in the past, the EMP type stuff. I'm not saying it is an EMP. It sounds like it works a little bit like an EMP. And they could just do this blast area, boom, and shut down electromagnetic stuff in an area. Now the Israelis have the Scorpius thing, and they can do target specific like vehicles. They're talking about it as some kind of air defense thing, where they can, like, there's two airplanes in the sky, and they can aim at one, and they can shut down everything electronic about the plane. And they're calling it soft kill. I mean, it sounds like you're still getting killed. But I mean, like, who cares if it's a soft or a hard kill? But like, all of our planes these days, everything's electronic, like even like the steering is that fly-by-wire stuff. They're being really coy about what it does exactly and how it works. It sounds like it's an EMP gun. We all know what EMPs are: electromagnetic pulse, fries electrical systems, and anything electric or electronic or uses electricity is fried, and it's no good anymore. We all go back to the Stone Age. Well, the Israelis got something like this now. And it's a laser beam, and they can fit it on the back of the truck, and they say it can engage multiple targets over long range. It sounds like it's a freaking amazing piece of machinery. But everything about warfare, modern law enforcement, just everything. I mean, what I'm doing right now. It's all got these electromagnetic systems in it. And now they can turn it off. They can turn you off, they can turn me off, and not turn the guy next to us off. That's impressive. Thank you, finally. And we all want to know, how do you hide from thermal sights and infrared thermal sights and night vision? And someone's now developed a way to turn all this stuff off in a heartbeat. Snap of the fingers, flip a switch. They can turn off specific electrical devices. They can leave one thing working and fry the one right next to it. Israeli Scorpius. They're calling it revolutionary, and I think, yeah, how could it not be? You know, even if it doesn't, so like, I was running that chainsaw on camera for a reason. You know, chainsaw seems like one of the least technological, most basic tools there is, but it runs off electricity. You know, what fires the spark plug, y'all know this. You know, the spark plug, what's igniting the fuel and making the motor run is electricity. Can this Scorpius thing turn off my chainsaw? You know, does he put me back to having to use a cross-cut saw to cut my firewood? I heat my house with that. Now, I mean, the Israeli government doesn't give a rat's ass about my chainsaw, but this is brand new emerging technology. This is you know, the beginning of something unprecedented, unheard of, where they can. This is what they're admitting to. They admit that they've got this laser system that fits in the back of a truck and can engage multiple targets over a wide area. They're saying it makes a dome, that they can make this air defense dome where they can turn off everything inside that dome. You know, drones, missiles, planes, navigation, communication, all of it. And that's what they're admitting to. That's what they'll say on paper they can do. So where does it go next? Oh, and this system can detect these things. This isn't like a line of sight thing where there's a human that says, oh, plane, turn it off. This system detects things flying in its zone or whatever, and just shoot. Now you can't see, now you can't communicate. You know, anything that has anything to do with electromagnetic systems, whatever the hell that means, is now turned off. You can see the Amish future in that. You know, you don't have to invade a country or a people or a place. You don't have to, you know, blow it up and ruin it and destroy it. You just turn it off. And suddenly the water doesn't flow, or at least clean water doesn't flow. Most people don't have heat. Now, no one has any communications. No refrigeration. Refrigeration is a huge deal. Our whole modern world is predicated on two technologies, sewers and refrigeration. Those two things go away, and you know, it's over. So they don't even have to invade. They don't have to blow you up. They don't have to set off a nuclear bomb. They just set a box up right there. You know, they pull a truck. It fits in the back of like a 5-ton truck. They can put it in planes and boats and ships, and they pull it up, and it detects everything it wants to turn off. You know, it turns off your security cameras. It turns off your scope. If you've got one of these illuminated reticle scopes, see, it's why I don't like batteries for the militia. They could turn off your scope. They can turn off your night vision. They can turn off your pacemaker or something. You know, they can turn off your alarm clock. I mean, they can just go, and you have no idea, and this thing's just, it's gone. You know, we're all scared about the you know, our technological future and the rise of the machines and, you know, all that stuff. In reality, we're all going to have to be able to live an Amish lifestyle. We're going to have to be able to live without these machines. Anyway, there you go. We've all been worried about the EMP. We should have been worried about the EMP gun. A literal gun that they can aim like a rifle, except a long-range rifle, and take out individual electronic stuff. And then wait for us all to come begging them. Finally got one good swing. But this technology is not going to stay with the Israelis. It's not going to stay with, you know, that. I think they're saying there's 3 countries that they sold it to already. They're not saying which ones. You can assume one of them is ours. It's not going to stay there. This is going to devolve. It may not be tomorrow. It might be 50 years. It might be 100 years. But this technology is going to get out. And you know, you're not going to have to shoot a missile. You're gonna have a little thing you set outside an airport and turn off the airplane's navs and comms and everything as it's taken off. Absolutely world-changing technology we got going on here. Anyway, there you go. Y'all look it up. There is a world out there where we're not enslaved to the ones and zeros, where we're not replaced by machines because the machines can be turned on. Of course. Oh, I hadn't thought about this. Think about this. I mean, ultimately, we're all electrical. You know, we're powered by electrical impulses in our bodies. I wonder if they get to the point where they can shut that off. Ooh. It's like an onion. Just layers you got to peel back. All right, man. There you go. Don't want you living in fear. That's not why I bring this up. I bring it up because, first off, it makes our lifestyle relevant. If you can live without these electronic gizmos, it doesn't matter if they can turn them off or not. I would just assume they did. So this isn't fear porn or fear mongering anything. It's just, you know, who could have predicted this? You know, 20 years ago we were all worried about being ruled by the machines, and now we're looking at technology that makes infantry and the riflemen supreme again, because you can count on them. As long as you don't count on them with their battery-powered gear. I mean, we could be going back to riflemen, you know. You know, just the man and his rifle, because anything else can get turned off with a flip of a switch. Some geek somewhere behind a computer screen can go beep, and the F-35 crashes into the side of a mountain, or just shuts off, you know, or it just shuts off entirely and falls out of the sky. Interesting times we live in, men. We appreciate you. Thank you.